All right, guys. Hi, welcome back to
Welcome.
another episode to the Why of It All. So happy to have everybody with us. If you can notice, Melanie and I are recording remotely today, so let's see how this goes. Give us some grace. But today we're diving into just such a great topic, the joy of small pleasures. We often dive into really big, meaningful conversations about healing, growth, and the tough stuff we all face in life. But today, instead of talking about the big questions, we're going to celebrate the small things. Those tiny moments and simple joys that can completely shift our mood and remind us that life doesn't have to be so serious all the time. We're talking about the little sparks of happiness, like sliding into freshly laundered sheets, the smell of coffee brewing in the morning, or hearing your favorite old song in the grocery store. These aren't the headline moments of life, but somehow they stick with us and they make the ordinary feel extraordinary. So today, we're slowing down and savoring the joy of small pleasures. We'll share some of our favorites, reflect on why they matter to our healing journeys, and hopefully inspire you to notice the tiny delights in your own day. Because sometimes the smallest things are actually the biggest reminders that joy is right here in front of us.
All right, so
Oh,
let's jump in.
let's
Do you
dive
want to
in.
start? What is a small pleasure to you?
Oh,
How would you define that?
I, you know, I think they can be so easy to overlook if you don't have a mind to be looking for them. But for me, it's about a feeling that I get, right? It's about a feeling in a particular moment with a particular action that I'm taking or that somebody else is taking. And so I think it's maybe a surprise, a just a feeling in a moment and having an overwhelming sense of happiness or joy that it sparks, maybe?
Yeah.
What about you, Mel?
I while you were reading the intro, I had a thought pop into my head. I think for
What?
me, the small
What?
pleasures are the things that are part of your normal daily life
Mhm.
that are things that, like what you said, that we often overlook, but are
Mhm.
there. They're there available for you to like milk and squeeze every last little luscious drop out of these
Mhm.
tiny joyful moments that are part of every day. But what popped into my head was like, here's the question. Do you think treat yourself moments count as the small, simple pleasures, or do you think it's the organic, small, simple pleasures that
Mm.
are just a part of your normal routine? Like, if I were to go get
Oh.
my nails done at the salon, which I don't do
Mhm.
very often, I usually do my own nails.
Right.
Does that count as a simple pleasure? Like I had to go out and get it. I had to
Mhm.
seek it out. I paid for it. It was a choice that I made. Does that count in what we're discussing today as the small pleasures, or are the small pleasures always just organic in the moment?
Wow, that's a good question. And that is
Random
that is
thought.
I love that because I'm going to say that they can both be small pleasures.
Uh-huh.
I think we're going to talk about our own personal small pleasures, but what you just said sparked something in me because just last night I went into a walk-in massage place and got an hour-long massage, and that was the most beautiful hour of the day yesterday. And
Yeah,
so to answer your question, I think we can create those small pleasures in our life, which actually, I just had another aha, which is kind of along our healing journey ideas, because for me, that massage last night was showing myself some self-love and some
for
self-care.
sure. Yeah.
And that sparked so much joy and
Yeah.
pleasure. And Steven just
Yeah.
had the magic hands last night, and he was just working my
Steven.
shoulders. And Steven, his name was Steven. But that is such a good question. I have to give Melanie props because that wasn't even a question we had
That was not
prepped.
part of our notes. That just was out
So,
of my brain.
chef's kiss, Melanie.
Yeah. You know, if I
Uh,
I'm thinking about it, like for the rest of this show, everything that we prepped for and we talked about, we really are focusing more on the organic, in the moment, authentic experiences that just pop up throughout the day.
right.
I think I would agree that the simple pleasures can be the things that you choose and seek out, but the difference is when you choose to do that, when you do a massage or you choose get to go get your nails done, any kind of
Yeah.
treat yourself thing, retail
Mm-hmm.
therapy, whatever,
Sure.
of course, you are going to be conscious of the joy that that experience brings you because you sought it out and you paid for it, right?
Right. Right.
What we're talking about today is more about the stuff that gets overlooked. They're those
Yes.
small, simple, joyful moments that people tend to just gloss over, and they don't
Sure.
extract the joy, the healing joy that's available
Mm-hmm.
in each one of those
Mm-hmm.
moments. So I think where I'm landing in this particular moment is that there is a difference between treat yourself and the small pleasures that what we're going to be talking about for the rest of the episode. But they're both joyful.
Uh,
They're
they're
both
both
they can both
joyful.
be restorative,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
But I think for what we're talking about today, I think we want to have our listeners understand that even if it's not a massage, even if it's not getting your nails done, even if it's not monetarily costing you something to create that joy or spark in your life, we're going to talk about the simple things that really truly if you're sit with it and be present with it and start to notice, they can bring you just as much, if not more joy than those pre-planned or, some of the things that just came to your mind. But that's it's a
Mhm.
good thought-provoking question. Which brings me to my next question, actually, for you, Melanie. Do you think we overlook the ordinary because we're conditioned to chase the extraordinary?
I think a lot of
Me,
people do. Does everybody?
hmm
I don't know. But I think a lot of
I
people
think
do.
I think so.
Um I think we have a tendency to be in a routine and we forget to notice the ordinary. And there are ordinary
Hmm.
joys. I think some people are probably more conditioned than others. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people in my life who literally can't see the beautiful moments. Like they just gloss right over it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, did you notice this?" And they're like, "Huh? What? No."
You're like
There are
if
people who they haven't trained their brain, and we're going to talk more about that a little later, but they
hmm
haven't trained their brain to have gratitude for the simple joys that are already existing in their life. They think if I
hmm
just get this or I just get that, if I can just have these experiences, I'll finally be happy.
hmm
And
hmm
it to me, it's a matter of training yourself and doing the
Right.
work
Hmm
to finally be able to extract the
hmm
moments, the gifts in your present experience that are already there for you to be grateful for.
And we are going to dig into that so much more into
Mm-hmm.
the episode because I think it will be valuable for our listeners to start to seek out those little small joyous pleasures in your day-to-day monotonous life that can seem monotonous, that can seem boring, that can seem, ah, really? Is this really that exciting? But slowing down, and we're gonna dig into that for sure.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about some personal examples of small pleasures. And it was like like when we were show prepping a couple of days ago, we both said, okay, let's make a list, right?
Uh-huh.
Of
That
our
was a
small
fun list to
pleasures.
make.
It really was, wasn't it? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. It's funny. It's kind of cute because like once we started writing them down, we discovered that we both have similar ones, which would make
Yeah.
sense because we're best friends. So we do have some things that we really enjoy that we
Yeah.
both connect on. My first one is actually my 14-year-old's cuddles randomly
Mm-hmm.
throughout the day. So in a world where we're just so rushed and school has started for us again and we are up at 5:30, we are hitting the ground running. He's got football at 6:45. I've got work at 8. I mean, we are just pounding it. You know what it is, like Melanie, right? For a mom.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful whenever he'll get out of the shower at night and because he knows I don't like him sitting or laying in my bed whenever he's dirty. Because I only get in my bed when I'm clean too, or I'm freshly showered. So
Well,
anyway,
and he's
he
a
will just
14-year-old boy, so
exactly. And he will have just been like playing football and all sweaty and nasty. I don't want him in my bed. And so he will get out of the shower and he will come and he will just literally lay next to me and let me hug him. And we will just embrace. And it may be, a minute, it may be three, it may be we get on the phone and look at something together, but just that physical touch with him because I know that as a mother, having a teenage boy, those moments are going to get less and less the older he gets, right? Eventually, in 4 or 5 years from now, he's going to be an adult and he will be out
yeah.
of the house. And so For me, that is one of my everyday small pleasures. That's one that I just really soak up. The second one, because I think about this like chronologically through my day, but second one, first sip of coffee in the morning when it
Oh
hits
yeah.
my soul. Like that
Mm.
first sip,
When it hits your soul.
when it hits my
Yes.
soul, you like when you feel it in your
Yes.
soul,
Ugh.
right? Is it just not?
So freaking good.
Oh. And during the week, it's like in my car on the way to drop him. So usually it's in the car Monday through Friday, but then on the weekends when I can just make a cup at home and just sit in my yoga room, either way, it's a small, tiny, simple joy that I love. Another one to me is listening to a good rap song in the car, turned up on like full blast, and that just literally gives me chills. Like it literally, I feel I feel like a visceral response. Like my whole body is buzzing. And we're going to talk about that a little more, right, Melanie? About singing,
Yeah.
like singing loud and what that does for us. But I think we both resonate with that too. So that's another one. Oh, also too, clean, crisp, cold sheets.
Oh yeah.
Laying your body in there and just feeling the coldness and the crispness. A fireplace crackling. So I have a fireplace, and that's like
Mm.
that was a non-negotiable when I built my house. Bubble baths, I take a lot of joy, and I take a lot of baths. So I find so much joy in just soaking and making the bubble bath and making sure I have my little foot scrubber and my oil for my body and my face cleanser and my candles lit, like it's a whole thing. It's a whole production. Fresh flowers in the house too. Really,
Yes.
that's
Ooh, I
one that
forgot that on my list. I have a flower thing on my list, but I should have put that one on there because there is I
ugh,
mean, that's a good one because you get that pop of joy every single time you walk past them.
every time. And I went through a phase several months ago where I was buying myself fresh flowers every week and I would have them on the bar. And then I stopped for a while, right? We get out of a habit, we stop doing it, we forget to buy them at the grocery store. And then 2 weeks ago, I was having a hard week, and a girlfriend of mine dropped a beautiful set of flowers off to my office. And of course, I started bawling, like, oh my God. And they have been in my kitchen for the last week. They finally went dead just a couple of days ago. But it just sparked, like, okay, I need to start buying fresh flowers again because it makes me so happy, right?
Yeah.
So that's one for me. And then the self-care nighttime routine. So for me, like after a full day and full face of makeup, taking off my makeup, right? Doing the whole cleansing thing, spraying my facial toner, smelling it. It smells so good. Putting all the oils, the castor oil and the vitamin E and like slathering, right? Like a collagen mask, like all those things spark
Well,
so
that's
much
so
joy.
funny to me because I don't love that routine. Like, it's annoying to me. It's a waste of. Now, I love the products. I love the products.
Gonna say
Shout
shout
out
out
Tulip Blooms.
to Live Blue.
But I love the products and I like the way they feel on my skin. But going through the routine of doing all the skincare and taking off the
Mm,
makeup and putting all the stuff on, I'm like, ugh, can this
it's
not
like a
take 10
chore.
minutes, please? It's like, it feels like a chore.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'll be and in all transparency, there are nights where I am so tired, right, from working all day and being up since 5. Like sometimes I get those feelings too, but then once it's all done and I lay in the bed all like glossy faced
Yes.
and like
Yes.
shiny, I'm like, oh,
Yes.
like it feels so good, right?
You
And
are right. I will agree with that. When it's done, I'm like, I smell so
right?
good and I feel so good. But it's the
Yes, yeah,
doing it part that's a chore. Well, I can easily shift
it
my
is.
perspective on this.
Yes, you
I
can.
could just
Of
make a
course
new
you can.
choice and feel
You can
differently
re
about it.
you can rewrite your new perspective right now
Mm-hmm.
as we're speaking. And tonight when
Yeah.
you do it, you're gonna text me and be like, Gina, it felt so good. And oh my God, what a joy it was to take off my makeup.
Yep.
Um, and the last one I had on my list, which is actually not coming in last, it probably comes in the top three, is the good morning text.
Oh
We've had a
yeah. We did a
whole
whole
we
episode about it.
we did a whole episode, and I'm just still going to stand by the fact that when I get that good morning text, whether it be from you, from a couple of other of my really close friends, there's just something that it just starts my day out right. It just like
Yeah.
somebody's thinking about me at 5 a.m. Somebody's like thought enough to like say hi, good morning, beautiful. I hope you have the best day. And I try to, for me, there's joy actually in sending those texts too
Yeah.
to my loved ones. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway,
I love it.
I
Great list.
yes, Yes.
I will
What about
say
uh-huh.
I am 100% with you on the first sip of freshly brewed coffee first thing in the morning. And here's what's interesting. I
What?
don't need the coffee. Like I should probably just switch to decaf because I don't need the coffee. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
need the caffeine. I wake up just fine without it. I've
Sure.
done detoxes in the past where I couldn't drink coffee and I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get like a caffeine withdrawal headache and I didn't feel different energy wise throughout the day. I just freaking love coffee. I like the taste of coffee. I like the
I do too.
warm, steamy beverage first thing in the morning. I don't add
Mm-hmm.
anything to it except cream.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that hot beverage first thing in the morning
Mm-hmm.
before I've even spoken to anybody.
You know what? Let
It
me
just
also
feels good.
I want to also add that when I'm at your house, coffee is especially amazing because of those mugs right there. Show everybody that mug. You just, yeah.
I have a mug collection and
Yes.
my coffee mugs. Talk about the simple pleasures. When I get a new mug for my
Oh,
collection,
oh,
it is it's amazing. It's a much bigger deal for me than a coffee mug really ought to be. But I have requirements. Should I share my coffee mug requirements?
yes, because your coffee mug collection is its own like thing. Like you would think they're all from the same pottery artist, but they're not,
Oh
right?
no. No.
Yeah.
So
But
when I travel,
yep.
everywhere I go, when I go on a trip, I find a local pottery studio. Sometimes there's like local
Hmm.
farmers markets and I can find a potter at the farmers market. But the requirements are, first of all, it has to be handmade. And I can't tip this right now because I have tea in it, but there's a signature on the bottom. There must be a signature from the potter on the bottom of it.
Okay.
Every one of them has to
Okay.
be unique. If it looks mass produced, not interested. And then the
Uh-huh.
most important thing after that is the handle. It's all about the
Mm,
handle. It needs to feel good in my hand. If it's too
you're
small or
right.
if it's too big or if the mug is too heavy, like when I pick up this mug, it's got to check
Hmm.
all the sensory experiences, including comfort in my hand. And so, oh,
You're
for
so
many,
right.
many years, I've been collecting coffee mugs for every trip I go on. And so,
Hmm.
when I pick up the mug, I not only get the joy from the coffee, which is my simple pleasure, and I get the
Hmm.
sensory joy from this beautiful, wonderful, unique handmade mug in my hand, but I get the memory of where I was when I found it.
Mm. You get the
I love it.
trifecta. You get the
It's a
trifecta.
trifecta.
It's a
Yes.
trifecta. I love it. Again, your coffee mug game is
Spot
chef's
on.
kiss. Spot on.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need to ramp up my coffee. Like my coffee mugs are not at your level. But
We'll get you there.
it is something about the handle because there's some that I
Oh, yeah.
don't gravitate towards because of the handle. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right.
It's awesome.
Anyway,
Yep. All
yeah.
right. I got more.
Yes.
The
Got a lot more.
sound okay, so growing up in Texas, we get pretty epic thunderstorms out there, and a lot of people are going to have this one: thunder and rain. I love the smell
Mm.
of rain. I will walk outside when there's a storm coming and just, oh, it's one of my favorite smells. Is the smell of a thunderstorm on its way, and then when the sky
Mm.
gets dark and it starts thundering out there, it's one of the most glorious feelings. It's a feeling
Agreed.
and a smell, and the way the light changes coming through the windows and the sound of when it starts downpouring, it is so soothing to my soul. And I don't exactly know why, unless it's primal.
Mm.
Like, can you
Mm.
imagine our ancestors, right? Or it would start raining. What would they do? They would have to stop whatever they were doing outside and go into, I don't know, the cave or the hut or whatever, and just
Mm-hmm.
be together with their family and sort of just hunker down until the
Mm.
storm ended. Maybe it's
Mm-hmm.
something that's like hardwired into our DNA, that it's a time to like kind of come together and relax and sit and be still.
Possible.
And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, but man, I freaking love a good thunderstorm.
Me too.
Um,
I'm gonna second that.
yeah. Another one would be unexpected kindness from a stranger. Whether it's, something amazing like what you shared the last episode. Was that the last episode?
Two episodes
Where you,
before that.
it was two
No, it
episodes
was
ago.
no, no. I'm sorry. It was last episode. Divine
It was Divine
appointments.
Appointments, right? It was the
Mm-hmm.
Divine Appointments last episode where you shared about the stranger who helped you fish your car keys out of the freaking gas station trash can. Like
Gosh,
something like
Angel.
that. Or even just walking and passing a compliment from a
Mm-hmm.
stranger. Wow, I really love your outfit. Something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Even just holding the door open. Kindness of strangers is always
Okay.
something that I have always tried to milk that moment. And that's another thing I think that's important with these small pleasures is we
Hmm.
do have a tendency to just sort of overlook them and let them fly by without appreciating what the value is there. But
Hmm.
like really milking those moments is so
Hmm.
great. And especially when it's
Hmm.
kindness from a stranger and it comes up and it's totally unexpected. I just think it's delicious.
100%.
I will agree with you. Snuggle sessions with my child, amazing.
Hmm.
She's 10 and and like physical touch is her love language. So she is ooey gooey,
My
super
Max too.
snuggly. We do our morning snuggles right when she wakes up, and we have our
Hmm.
nighttime snuggles on the sofa, and
Mm,
any moment in between. Just it's just
it's the
warms your
best.
heart. Yeah. Crossing something off of my to-do list. Because
Oh,
I am such a
okay.
like to-do list person. There is something so
Oh,
satisfying about either crossing it off or taking my little dry erase. I would have everything on my whiteboard, and I'd take
yeah.
my little dry erase marker and erase that line item, and it's like, oh, I
You know
just
what?
love it. Feels so
I'm gonna.
good.
I didn't write that one, but I'm gonna agree with you. That's a very small. That's a simple pleasure that I have every day at work. Yep,
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
like, what if in those moments, instead of just being like, oh, got that done, now I got to move on to the next thing, what if you could be like, damn, girl, yes. Like, I got
Right.
that. I did that. Yay.
Hey, but you skipped one on your list that I think is so good. Ah,
Genuine belly
ah,
laughs from a
ah,
friend. Oh my God.
yes.
Okay, so for
So
any of our listeners who missed it, go on to our social media accounts, Instagram or Facebook or
yes,
whatever, and check
yes.
out the reel that Gina and I made when we
Oh,
were skipping arm in arm down the street in front of my house doing the most absurd and ridiculous like
ah,
photo video sesh because we saw this freaking TikTok trend and we're like, let's do it. It's so stupid. And we laughed
we
so hard. I had
laughed.
tears
I
rolling
had
down
tears.
my face.
And do you know that video created so many more laughing tear moments in my bed even after we'd
Yes,
done it? Like I
for
sat in
days
bed
and
and
days
like
and
for
days.
days, and that reel got the most views. Like that reel got the
I
most
know we
views
just
of
need to
it.
start doing more. Like, we're
We
not
do.
really like hardcore social media people, right? Like, we don't do
We're
trendy
not.
shit. And
Mm-mm.
in fact, most of those trends to me are so cringe. Like, I'm not interested. But we saw this and we
Sure.
were like, this is past cringe. This is like absurdly
It's
glorious. Let's just
no.
do it. And
It,
it
it
was so
we
much fun.
we had so much fun, and I'll just my laugh in that first video we made in your driveway was so genuine and so like coming from my gut. It was just anyway, I'm sorry. I had to go back to that one because that one
You're right.
resonated
I
with me
skipped
too.
over it.
Anyway,
Puppy
okay.
Zoomies was another one I think I accidentally skipped over, and
Oh,
that's a new thing in my life right now. We just got this puppy
yes.
Josie, and she had her
Oh,
first like full blown Zoomie sesh around the backyard a couple of days ago. Like she's had little spurts of Zoomies here and there, but this was like she just went round and round and round as fast as her little puppy legs could carry her. And I was again laughter. I was
laughing.
dying. I was laughing so hard. Oh, so good.
Oh, that's the
Um,
best.
Here's another one is I am, we've all heard the saying, stop and smell the roses. There's a reason it's a saying. Like, you have this moment where nature has provided this beautiful natural fragrance that's coming from a flower, so it's visually appealing, and there's the aroma of it.
Hmm.
I often will stop whatever I'm doing, walking down the sidewalk, and just stuff my nose in a flower. It is, to me, having
Mm,
those moments is an intentional step in going, you know what, here's a joyful, juicy joy moment that I can just claim it. Everybody else is just walking right past it, but not me. I'm gonna sniff the
mhm.
hell out of this flower.
I
And
love
that goes
it.
too for like the herbs in my garden. And when I go to collect the fresh rosemary or parsley or oregano or thyme or whatever out of my garden to use when I'm cooking, I'll snip it and then I'll take a few of the little leaves and roll them in my fingers to release the oils and just
Mm,
something else that I learned too. Did you know smelling fresh rosemary has been shown to increase IQ?
did not
And
know that.
I don't know how that works, but there were
Hmm.
studies done on it. And so when I'm another thing, if I'm walking
Interesting.
around and I walk past somebody's house, maybe I shouldn't do this, but I'll like grab rosemary,
Mm,
a little sprig of rosemary
sprig.
off their bush and just walk around and sniff it. Oh, it's
Mm.
so good.
So you can
I love
increase your
that.
IQ.
That's exactly what I'm doing for
So you can
sure.
increase your IQ. I love it.
Yes. And along those
What
same
else?
lines is herbs or vegetables or fruit. I have a fig tree, I have a lemon tree, and I've
Hmm.
grown vegetables in my garden before. And eating the fruit right off the tree. I don't wash it. I don't do anything. So I don't use pesticides or anything. So I will just grab a ripe fig off of my tree and pop it right in my mouth. Like there's something so
Mm.
glorious about I grew this and it's just coming straight from nature directly into my mouth. And I just, oh, those moments
Mm.
are amazing for me.
That's how I feel when
Um,
I'm stuffing popcorn in my face at night in bed.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't grow the corn,
I
but you
didn't
popped it.
grow it. I
You
popped
popped
it
it.
and it's so satisfying. It's so
Yeah. Yes. Another one,
That's a
the
good one.
feeling of nostalgia. Any kind of nostalgia. Like for
Mm.
you, we were talking about this before we started recording of like your freaking 90s hip hop. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's the joy of singing along to the songs that you grew up with and but
Hmm.
nostalgia I bet is a big part of that too, would you say?
I would say. Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. I went
100%.
roller
Hmm.
skating with Violet the other day and there
Oh
was the
yeah.
joy of movement and the fun experience and being having this great music and we're jamming out and everybody there is happy. But for me, the most glorious part about it was the nostalgia of rolling around in a skating rink, round and round and round. And it happens to be Playland Skate Center, which has been around since I was a kid. Like I literally skated in that same skating rink when I was my daughter's age.
That's why
Like the
I have to go back
nostalgia.
next time. I have to
Oh, yeah, we're
go
going to
because
do it.
that.
Hey everybody, it's Melanie from The Why of It All. You guys already know Gina and I are passionate about healing mind, spirit, and body. And that's why we're proud to be sponsored by a brand whose passion for wellness runs as deep as ours, Tulip Blooms. Tulip Blooms is a family-owned American small business that handcrafts a variety of small batch premium skincare products, such as their original flagship product, Rainfall. Rainfall is a luxurious, lightweight face and body lotion made with soothing aloe vera and a powerhouse blend of cold-pressed botanical oils like jojoba, rosehip, and evening primrose. Rainfall is my go-to daily body lotion. I love that it's made with only the highest quality of pure, clean, natural ingredients. There's no synthetics at all, and it absorbs quickly, delivering lasting hydration without any greasiness. There are many scents to choose from, even unscented, but my favorite is rose geranium. Rainfall is gentle enough for the face, nourishing enough for the body, and the perfect daily go-to, especially after sun exposure when your skin craves extra care. Visit tulipblooms.shop and use our exclusive promo code HEAL, that's HEAL, at checkout for 10% off your order.
There anymore, but like that would bring me so much joy.
Yeah.
Going roller skating with you. Yes,
Oh,
we have
it'll
to
be
do
so
that.
much fun. Talk about belly
Hmm.
laughs. We're going to laugh, especially if we eat
Oh,
it, you know?
yes, yes.
All
We'll
right,
try not to, but
we'll try not to. Yeah.
yeah.
All right, I got a few more.
Okay.
For me, giving
Hmm.
things away. Like, we've
Mm.
all heard of Marie Kondo, right? If it doesn't spark joy, get rid of it.
Yes.
That works for me. I'm like the anti-pack rat. So when I have something in my home that's just taking up space and I don't love it
Hmm.
anymore, I'm just like, make it go away. I love the feeling of giving something away that is taking up space in my home that I don't necessarily want anyway, and then getting to experience the joy of the person on the receiving end of it who does want the thing that I don't want anymore. It's like a
Absolutely.
twofold thing. I just
Hmm.
love it. And it
I love
feels
it too.
really good to be like, no, you don't have to pay me anything. Here you go. Have
Hmm.
it. I
Hmm.
love that.
Yep.
I'll blow through these two. Driving away from the car wash in a freshly
Mm.
clean car. There's not a speck of dirt anywhere. I'm vacuumed out on the inside. Everything's shined up and wiped down. Like that fresh, clean car feeling. Love that. And along the
Agree.
same lines, rock star parking spaces. There is so much like nailed it in finding
It
the rock star parking space.
I discovered the joy of that living with you. When we would go
Yeah.
out, when we used to live in Austin and we would go out, it was like this whole thing we would manifest. You started it,
Yeah.
honestly. I can't take credit
Yeah.
for it because you started it, I remember. And you would be like, okay. And we'd be like going downtown and like, parking is scarce at that time.
Yeah.
And I remember like you're the one who helped me find the simple joy in finding a rock star
Oh
parking. And
yeah, and
we
you have to like just know you're going to get it You got to be driving
Yes.
around being like, "Where's my spot? My
Right.
rock star space is right around here somewhere. I'm just waiting for
It
the person
does.
to pull out of it so I can get it,
Yep.
and it's coming. I'm not going to have to park in BFE. Like my
No.
spot is about to open up, and I'm going to find it. Where is it?
And 9 times out of 10, it would come true.
Yeah,
Nine
yeah,
times out of 10, we always, anyway, when we were together, for sure.
yep.
That's a good
I love it.
one.
Good one. And you got to milk those
Yes.
moments. You got to milk them. Like you can't let those moments pass by. Got to
Hmm.
really just marinate in it. Okay, I got one more, and then I'm going to
Oh,
elaborate on this one. Okay, so
okay.
for me, and I think you will agree, as you mentioned with your singing along in the car to your hip hop music,
Hmm.
singing in the car or the shower, singing. And listen, I'm someone who you will never find me on a karaoke stage.
Me either. Me
Nope,
either.
hard pass.
Mm-mm. Hmm.
But I have a good voice. I really do.
Hmm.
And I love to sing. And I love to sing in the shower. I sing in the car. I'll sing around the house. And I recently learned why it is that singing feels so good. And it has everything to do with the vagus nerve. So I'm going to read a little bit
Mm.
because I wanted
Okay.
to dig into this a little bit more. The
Sure.
vagus nerve is the main highway of your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest, heal, and digest side of your nervous system, right? The
Hmm.
opposite of fight or flight. When
Hmm.
stimulated, the vagus nerve lowers your heart rate, deepens breathing, and signals safety to the body. Humming, chanting, and making long sounds. There's one I'll elaborate on a little bit more called the VU breath.
Hmm.
Creates a vibration in the chest and the throat and the nasal passages, and those vibrations directly stimulate the vagus nerve pathways in the throat and
Yep.
the vocal cords. So,
Yep.
singing or humming naturally lengthens your exhale. Long,
Hmm.
slow exhalations are one of the most effective ways to activate the vagus nerve. This is why people talk about breath work all the time. It's not just because the action of breathing makes you feel better and calm, it's because of the way it affects the vagus nerve. So that lowers
Yes.
your stress hormones and calms your nervous system. The rhythmic sound creates coherence between breath, heartbeat, and brain waves, and this can shift you in a state of calm focus, similar to meditation. So, something
Yeah.
in the work that I've been doing with the limbic rewiring since the beginning of January, one of the
Hmm.
exercises I was taught was called the VU breath. And it's going to look a little weird, but I'm going to show you guys right now. It looks like this.
Yeah.
VU. There's another one called the foghorn breath, where you're not necessarily pronouncing VOO, VU. It's just more
Hmm.
like, oh, more of an O sound with your mouth, but it sounds like a foghorn. When you do those, and it's something like 8 to 10 cycles of that, deep inhale until you're
Hmm.
all the way out of air. Do it
Hmm.
again, slow, deep breaths, 8 to 10 cycles. You can feel the resonance in your chest. It's deep. You can feel it all the way in there. And it's, for me, become one of the simplest, easiest, most effective exercises I can do in a moment where I'm
Hmm.
feeling a little bit verklempt or like a little bit of, anxiousness coming up, nervous, anxiety.
Mm.
Maybe
Hmm.
there's a lot going on, and I could start to feel the anxiety welling
Hmm.
up in my body.
Hmm.
And man, after 8 to 10 cycles of that, I can really feel my body start to calm down. It's really amazing. And so what is suggested for these
Hmm.
exercises, and there's breath work exercises that can do the
Hmm.
same thing. And you can look up online, there's a bazillion types of breath work.
Hmm.
Um, 3 to 4 times a day. Doesn't have to take long. It can be just a few minutes worth for each
Hmm.
practice moment that you're doing. 3 to 4 times a day for as long as you need to. And the more you do it, the faster your body responds in terms of calming your nervous system.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah,
This
really, really cool.
correlates. Well, listening to you talk about that brings up in my yoga training, because, I went back and got more studies, and a lot of that was about meditation, mantra, and movement.
Hmm.
And so in yoga, and when you're talking about meditation, when you started saying have you heard of the word Om? That is the
Yes,
universal sound of the universe.
yes,
It's the universal
yes,
sound. So it's the first sound, right?
Yeah.
And so it's crazy how all this correlates also to yoga. When you study yoga, you talk about the chakras, right? You've got seven chakras, and each chakra has a particular sound. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I wish I would have looked into this a little more because the boom, I can't remember which chakra that
Is
is,
that one
but
of them?
that's one of them. It helps to clear out that chakra, those energy fields in your body. So there's so much science that has been around for thousands of years
Yeah. And they
about
didn't
this very
necessarily
thing.
know thousands of years ago that it
No,
was because it was
no.
toning the vagus nerve, but they
Mm-mm.
knew it worked. I
Correct.
think it's
And
just
so,
I think it's fascinating connecting those dots.
and we're coming back to the basics because it's crazy how this conversation has taken this route with the simple pleasures, but really,
Yeah.
these are things that you can incorporate into your daily life that, like you said, talking about regulating the nervous system, aligning your energetic fields because we all have them. We're all energy, right? And
Yeah.
so I love how you put this spin
So
on
like
on
you
this
didn't even
conversation.
know when you were freaking jamming out to Wu-Tang
No,
Clan in your car or whatever.
too short. LL Cool J,
LL
Run
Cool J,
DMC.
man, you didn't even
Mhm.
know that singing along is working on your vagus nerve, and that's why it feels so good.
It feels so good. Let me tell you, it feels so good. And especially it feels good when my teenage son is down with it too. And he's liking the
Mm,
same music and that I've inspired his musical taste in
love
some
it.
small way. I love that. Melanie, this is a good segue into our next segment that when we were show prepping, we had come across this interesting concept that neither one of us had ever heard of.
Yeah,
And it's kind of interesting. It's called the hedonic treadmill. And maybe some of our listeners have heard of this. I had not. So this is again, I'm learning
neither have
as well. But
I. And we've been
yeah,
looking into healing stuff for years and
yes.
years and years, and I'd never heard of this. So we just thought this was fascinating.
We did. And so
Hmm.
let me explain a little bit. So the hedonic treadmill is the idea that humans tend to return to a baseline level of happiness, regardless of positive or negative effects. So for example, you get the new car, the job, relationship, or house, and at first your happiness spikes, right? Because you get what you were hoping for, asking for. But after a short period, you adapt to it and your emotional state resets to where it was before. Makes
Hmm.
complete sense. The same thing happens with setbacks. We eventually adapt and return to our baseline.
Hmm.
So, how is this relevant to healing? Well, the hedonic treadmill explains why chasing the big fix or waiting for life-changing events doesn't necessarily create long-term healing or happiness, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing like, oh, I'll feel whole when I move, or I feel whole when I get married, or lose that extra 10 pounds, or finally heal from the trauma that I've been dealing with. And those moments, while powerful, don't provide ongoing fulfillment or
Hmm.
resilience when the next stressful episode in your life occurs. So
Yeah.
I thought this was really interesting and it brought up some good questions for us that really I thought about, yeah, this is true. So have you ever chased something big like a house, a job, a relationship, thinking it would fix everything? And have you ever thought like once I reach this point, I'll finally feel better? Has that ever happened in your life? Because I can think of of a season in my life where I kind of was on this treadmill,
Yeah, for sure. Like what pops into
right?
my mind right now is in recent years past, when, I either got misdiagnosed with something or somebody was like, you know what, you got parasites. If you just clear the parasites, that's going to fix your gut problems. You're eating right, you're taking all these supplements, and you still have gut problems. It's parasites. I'm like,
Hmm.
cool. I'll do the parasite cleanse and I'll feel better after that. And then
Hmm.
I'm going through the difficulty of doing a parasite cleanse
The
and the fasting and
purge,
like the purging and
the
the
detox.
Herxheimer detox reactions and all the stuff. And then I get done with the parasite cleanse. I don't feel any better. Now, I'm not saying I didn't need to do a parasite cleanse or that that wasn't a positive thing for my body, but with each one of those types of examples of things where I was like, this is the problem and this is the solution. And if I just do
Hmm.
that and get it done, I will finally feel better. And I'd get to the end of one of those and I didn't feel any better. There was
Hmm.
always something else. There's always something else that I could latch onto
Hmm.
as the
Hmm.
problem.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until I started going inward, healing my nervous system, and starting to reshift my focus back to what I have to be
Hmm.
joyful and grateful about
Hmm.
that I
Hmm.
started finally feeling better.
So true, isn't
Yeah.
it? I
Yeah.
feel like for me, one of those seasons in my life is when I thought, I think American culture and other cultures too, has always taught us that once you find that special partner, once you get
Mm,
married and have the children and the white picket fence and being the stay-at-home mom and the dog and like just everything. I didn't do that until my mid 30s. And my clock was ticking so much for a child and to be married and to be have this whole thing. But when I think back at that time of my life, there was so much internal work that needed to be done that I was completely unaware of. And so I thought that my marriage was going to fix my trauma that I had when I was 13. I thought my having a child would completely erase everything and make everything, and that's just not real life. But yeah, you keep or like if you're in college, once I get my degree and start making more money, then I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Like
yeah.
it's a rat race, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that everybody can kind of resonate, right, with how that feels, that hedonic treadmill,
Exactly.
right?
And there was a little bit more here that we found too is that these small, consistent pleasures shift the healing journey away from waiting for big events and towards daily lived experience, looking for
Mhm,
those juicy, joyful moments that are right there for you, already
mhm,
there, already
mhm,
present in your life, in your daily lived experience. And doing so interrupts the treadmill. Instead of needing more or better, you find joy in what already exists. The
mhm,
hugs, the music, the
mm,
sunshine, they don't require constant upgrading in order to feel better.
mhm,
There's,
mhm,
and talking about that baseline, by regularly savoring the small joys, you gently raise your overall baseline of well
mhm,
being. So your
mhm.
brain starts expecting more goodness in ordinary life. Oh, I love that.
I do too.
It's
I do too.
amazing.
Mhm,
Teaching contentment, they remind you that peace and happiness aren't something to chase, but something you practice noticing. That
mhm,
shift is healing in and of itself. And again, it takes wiring your brain for it. We talked a
mhm,
little bit before we started recording about the reticular activating system. The
mhm,
reticular activating system is the part of your brain that, when you buy a new car, all of a sudden you see that make and model vehicle everywhere you go. It's your reticular activating system that is identifying sameness, it's looking for patterns.
mhm,
And it's like if you're walking around in life and you're only focusing on what's going wrong and everything that's going wrong has your full attention, your brain is going to look for all of the threats everywhere you go. It's going to constantly be showing you what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong.
sure.
But you can literally train your brain by extracting the joy out of these small moments to
Mhm,
begin looking instead for simple joys everywhere. So
mhm,
that's what your
mhm,
reticular activating system starts to show you more of, is all the little joyful moments that are present everywhere and
mhm.
available to you if you would just practice noticing them.
And I think that with being able to find those little pockets of peace or those pockets of joy in the day, I think that one thing, being present
Mm,
in this moment, right? This is life right here in this moment, us recording this podcast. We don't know what's going to happen 10 minutes from now. We also can't live in what happened 10 minutes beforehand, right? So practicing that presence and
mm.
like when Melanie and I are together, why is it making me emotional? Well, it is. But no, but like when we're together, it's funny because now that we started the podcast, we have to be very intentional about taking photos and like doing social
Yeah,
media. But like before we started our podcast, all these years that we've been friends, literally we'll go through the whole weekend together and then we'll like I'll text her or call her the next when we're done. We're like, we didn't get any pictures from this weekend.
none.
Like we
Yeah.
didn't get any archival things to be able to look back on. And it's because when you are with somebody and you're really good friends and you're really connected to them and they're like a soul sister, you are so present
Yeah.
in their just their presence. Like, having your attention, full attention is a gift.
Mm-hmm.
Me giving you my full attention is a gift. I
Yeah.
feel like in this crazy busy world that we live in. And so it makes me emotional because I'm so grateful for
Yes.
those like we just we know a lot about presence and about being in the moment and staying there and like you milking those joyous moments.
Yeah.
And it's funny because me and Melanie have so many trips that we've taken and we have to be super intentional. But like, okay, let's get a picture because we want to remember this. But a lot of
Yeah,
the
there are
time,
years past, Gina,
oh,
where
we
it's multiple years between when we get a picture together.
yes.
Like we're not
Yes.
we're like you said, we're just so present together. We're just in the moment and we
Mm,
don't even think about it.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I so anyway,
Mm,
that's a simple joy. That's a simple
brilliantly said. Excellent
right?
point. Yes. And the other
Oh,
thing too is being able to be present, to milk these simple pleasure moments, raising your baseline of happiness by
mm-hmm.
practicing extracting the joy from the little things is what builds resilience within
Mm-hmm.
you. So that when
Mm-hmm.
life happens and the hard knocks occur, and they are going to happen, they're never not going to
Mm-hmm.
happen, instead of
Mm-hmm.
getting completely knocked off center, you
Sure.
might slide a little bit, you'll have an
Mm-hmm.
episode, but then you eventually slide back
Mm.
into your baseline, but your baseline's higher than it ever was. So that's
Right.
resilience, being able to
Mm-hmm.
cope with the moments because of the resilience you've built from a baseline of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I
Yeah, I
love
love
it.
that too. I do
I love
too.
this little phrase about resilience where it says, when life knocks you down, simple pleasures become stable touch points that bring you back to yourself. They're the stepping stones in dark times. Ah,
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. Right. This is another great thought-provoking question, Melanie. What's the difference between chasing happiness and cultivating happiness? What is your
Mm.
take on that thought-provoking question?
Intention,
Mm, mm-hmm.
deliberateness. Instead of
Deliberateness.
letting life just happen to you and you're at the mercy of your emotional reactivity, cultivating happiness is everything we're talking about today. It's being intentional with focusing on what you have to be grateful for and the joyful moments so
Mm-hmm.
that you are intentionally building that baseline of resilience. To me, it's all about intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
I know people, like I have people in my life who are wonderful people. And when everything is going right in their life, they're extremely happy. But as soon as something wrong happens, it is absolutely catastrophic meltdown. And because they're not willing to do the work, they're not willing to be intentional about their
Mm-hmm.
mindset,
Mm-hmm.
they are always at the whim of their emotions. They are not,
Mm-hmm.
and when we've talked about it, it's like, I will finally be happy when my circumstances change.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay, but that just means you're constantly at the mercy of circumstances you can't control. And it's
Correct.
not, and what we're talking about here isn't about being a control freak and trying to control everything. It's just about
No.
being intentional with the thoughts that you think and the mindset you hold to protect the health of your nervous system so that when
Mm-hmm.
life happens, you don't
Mm-hmm.
have this constant, this roller coaster of emotion,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to be happy on purpose, understanding that life is going to happen and there's going to be momentary dips,
Mm-hmm.
but that you
Yeah.
can by your intentionality can find your way back to joy faster than you can if you're just, a leaf in the wind with your feelings.
And I think what comes to mind too when I think about this question too about chasing happiness and cultivating happiness, I think this also you can also compare it to somebody that, and I'm guilty of this for sure, growing up and in my 20s and 30s and probably even 40s. Um, Crazy to say I'm almost in my 50s, but okay, we won't go there yet until January 18th. I but cultivating happiness for me has to do with finding that happiness within. Because chasing happiness, right, for me signifies looking for that happiness or those pleasures in
Oh,
somebody else, in
yes.
something else, right?
Yes.
And when you are always focused on looking to others,
Mm,
looking to a distraction, looking to a drug, you're trying to chase that happiness when really it starts with you.
mm,
People say, well, I'll use my own example. When my ex-husband wanted a divorce and he said, this just doesn't make me happy. This marriage, I'm not happy. And I'm come to find that that happiness starts from within. The happiness you cultivate it starts with you. It doesn't start with an external person, place,
Mm,
or thing. So when you can get down to the root of sitting still with you, what fills your cup, Melanie? What fills your
mm.
cup, Gina? How can you cultivate happiness within you, but not looking for it in all these external,
Ah,
I don't know.
so well said. So let's do a little recap.
Mm-hmm.
Simple
Mm-hmm.
joys send powerful safety signals to the nervous system. So they're important. Recognizing these small pleasures is about nervous system regulation, for one thing. When you're healing from trauma, stress, or grief, your body often lives in fight or flight. Small pleasures act like micro regulators. Neuroplasticity works both ways. Fear and stress can reinforce old patterns, but so can joy. Joy can
Mm-hmm.
rewire those old patterns. So,
Mm-hmm.
repeatedly leaning into small pleasures literally
Mm.
retrains your brain to expect goodness and possibility and hope and beauty
Yep.
and joy.
Yep.
I love
I
it.
can
You
attest
want to
to
grab the
this. I
next
can.
one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And healing isn't just about resolving the past. It's about being able to be here now, like I just talked about,
Mm,
being present. Small pleasures invite mindfulness. So again, noticing the breathe or the things that we talked about at the beginning, savoring a bite of chocolate, hearing a
mm,
song, they pull us out of the looping thoughts and ground us in this present moment. Yeah. And when you allow yourself to enjoy the little things, you're affirming, right? I am
mm-hmm.
worthy of joy, even in the ordinary. That shift in self-concept is a huge part of healing. That has been a huge healing measure that I've taken in my
Yeah,
own experience.
yeah.
You don't have to wait until you're fully healed, per se, or have
Mm-hmm.
reached those circumstances to be perfect to experience all these pleasures.
In
Agreed.
fact, I can tell you from all of the work that I've been doing on limbic impairment and rewiring my nervous system, that's exactly right. If you wait for the circumstances to change, wait for your full
Hmm.
to be fully healed, or wait for the relationship situation to get better, or the money situation, you're doing it wrong. You got to go about it the other way, especially in terms
Correct.
of how your nervous system is going to respond to things. And of course, your
Correct.
sense of self worth is tied into all of
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Beautiful.
Hmm. Hmm.
Another thing, of course, is gratitude. Small
Hmm.
pleasures open the door to gratitude. And gratitude shifts perspectives, rewires thought patterns, and fosters that resilience that's so important. Over time,
Hmm.
this turns into a practice of receiving life as it is, which is a cornerstone of the healing journey.
Hmm. I love it.
I love it.
This has been such a cool topic to talk about, really.
Yeah.
It went down so many different paths, and I think I hope it's helpful to somebody that's listening, you
And
know?
inspiring. Like, what if you
Hmm.
guys, if we gave you guys a little bit of homework,
Oh,
a
yes.
joy assignment, if you will,
Hmm.
find
Hmm.
3 tiny things today that make you smile and really milk it.
Hmm.
Like we said, milk it. Really pause in the moment, be present with it, enjoy it, integrate it, and see
Hmm.
if building that practice and developing that habit doesn't raise your baseline of happiness. This has been great. We thought
Yes.
this was going to be a short episode, Gina.
I know, and we're almost at an hour, and
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious.
Incredible. I love these lighthearted
Yes.
episodes.
Me
Good stuff.
too. Yeah.
Thank you,
So,
everybody, for listening. If you have enjoyed this
yes.
episode, the very, very best way you can show us that is to just hit that little positive affirmation button right below, whatever platform you're on. Like, follow, subscribe, share with your
Yeah.
friends. That is the very best way to support this show. And we love you all, and we'll see you on the next
Yes.
one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.